I want to know.
Okay.
How are you coming up with your routine for these shows? I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, like first of all, honestly speaking, I put together my routine while taking a shit. I get inspiration while I'm taking a shit because I spend like minimum, anytime I take a shit, like minimum half an hour. Like I only just poop for for a few minutes, but you're just there, it's like our confined space.
It's a great place to meditate.
Yeah, it's a place where guys, we gossip.
We do.
We get inspiration.
Yes.
We put together tasks. We put together work. We put together things.
Yes. The brain works better when the poop is coming out too.
When you're there, it's just you and the smell of your own shit, and you're just there. It's just you doing your thing there. Like your mind, no distraction. You're just focused on so many things. Like your brain becomes empty. So many things start like coming in.
What is happening? Welcome back to your favorite podcast, the Glute Podcast. I'm your host, Justin Mihaly, and I am thrilled to have you back on another journey with us. Before the show begins, if you please could hit the subscribe button, share this with your friends if you love the show, and check out the sponsors in the show notes. It would help this show grow tremendously. Get ready. There is a mind-blowing episode coming. I'll see you inside. Andrew Jacked, you are a man of very few words. You don't go on podcasts very often.
No.
Not your thing, but Freddie's like, you got to be there.
It takes only just a fraction of the world's population, just a fraction of people to pull me in to do podcast interview. I just like my space. I like staying in my zone, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, myself, the Grow or Die fans, your fans, we appreciate you taking some time out of this. You are the self-proclaimed now Prince of Texas. There's some people that have been trying to give you that king title, but you paid some fantastic tribute to Steve Kuklo before we were on air. He's the king of Texas.
Yeah, like listen, I don't take away credit from a dominant force to someone who's an alpha in the game. You get me? Yeah. I retired him, but still, he gave me his blessing, and that was a big respect towards me. So I'll leave him there. He's still the king of Texas. I'm just the Prince of Texas.
The Prince of Texas is still a pretty good place to be. Yeah. Can I ask you, obviously it was a private conversation. Obviously Steve Kuklo is someone who I look up to, admire. I actually was able to win his show in 2022. Oh. And he and I built a little bit of a friendship off of that. So the respect and the homage you pay to him means a lot to me as well. Yeah. Can I ask you, Andrew? Yeah. What was his blessing? What did he say to you?
No, like I don't disclose that. It's private, it's personal, it's confidential. Because we met and he pulled me to the side.
Is that the Texas Pro?
No, this was after the show. I think I was going back to my hotel and I saw him with his wife like coming out of the hotel, and we just had a Bruce chat, and hey man. Yeah, he's an amazing person.
Amazing dude. Yeah. He's done so much for the sport too.
Yeah, he's an amazing guy.
Kaduna, Nigeria.
Yeah.
You guys have the most crocodiles per capita.
It's called the Crocodile City.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm absolutely terrified of crocodiles. You grew up around them.
No, man, it's nothing.
It's not that bad?
No, it's not that bad. I mean, crocs are scared of humans. Like, it's not that bad. It's like Florida, where you have crocs and alligators everywhere. Alligators more. You know what I mean? So, but there is just...
So how'd you find bodybuilding?
That's funny. I was never a fan of the sport of bodybuilding, but I was a huge fan of fitness. But from the feedbacks from so many people I've been with, trained with, and admirers, I decided to give it a trial and see how it goes. And ever since, I've never looked back. So I've now saw that the one it's become a passion. And it's become something I really like. So I want to give it my all and see how far I can go. Because so far, I think my breakthrough year was the very first year I competed, and I think I smashed. The only trophy missing is just the sandal. Yeah, it's just the sandal. So I mean, in my first year, I was able to. I mean, even until now, I've gotten everything. It's just the sandal, just the only trophy remaining for a breakout rookie. You know, or breakthrough rookie. You know what I mean? So
yeah. At your house, you have a trophy case?
Nah.
No.
Man, I put those things in the cupboard and in the cabinet and lock them up.
Where's the sandal gonna go?
The sandal, it would just be like a final accomplishment, you know what I mean? To just be like, okay, yeah, it's been achieved, and it will still go to the cupboard and just be there.
So you got 5th this past year's Olympia.
Yeah.
Obviously improvements from the first Olympia. Only your second Olympia, you got 5th place.
Yeah.
Andrew, from then to now, give me a percentage. How much better are you right now?
I'm still a work in progress.
When will you be happy? 2, 3, 4 sandals?
I don't know. I'll see. I'll break the first one and then I'll see.
Yeah. So Nigeria, you had an athletic background. You kind of burst on the scene overnight. I think it was from a Larry Wheels.
Larry Wheels, exactly, which was funny.
How did that happen?
Parking lot. I was going to my car. No, I a friend of mine, you know, he's my VI. He's a good friend of mine. He's not my brother because he was actually my VIP client. We turned friends, and now he's like a brother. You know what I mean? So, we finished his session. I was going back to my car, and Larry was coming out of his car on the parking lot, and we saw, and just like guys just saying hi to each other, you know, with a nod and whatever. And I responded, and we just talked, have a chat, like a little bit, like, you know. Just a little chat. Yeah.
And then you trained together.
Yeah, we started to train together, and that was it. I think after like 2 weeks of training together, he was trying to like tag me on Instagram, and he couldn't find me, and he asked me, I'm like, bro, I'm not on the grid. Oh, he was shocked. He was like, no way. I'm like, I'm not on the grid. You know what I mean? So I think we finished, and then he kidnapped me back to his hotel room and got me Instagram.
Yeah. So you could say that overnight everything changed.
Boom.
I mean, Andrew, like you're a soft-spoken dude.
Just like that.
You're to yourself. You don't even have Instagram.
No.
And then, I mean, how you were up probably 100,000 followers real fast.
There was no Instagram, no Facebook. Like, I wasn't on social media as a whole. Yeah, I was just enjoying life. Now it's,
can I ask what?
Now it's stressful. Now life is complicated. Life is stressful. Man, it's crazy.
Were you working engineering at that point still? How were you surviving at that point?
I was doing coaching, VIPs only, and still I was working. Yeah. So
incredible.
Yeah.
Instagram blows up. Obviously, there's a lot of fans, a lot of people know your name. Now, all of a sudden, you can't really walk around without people like Andrew Jack's. Like,
yeah,
I saw a bunch of folks that I follow on my timeline last night just tagging you on Instagram. I don't even know if they walk up to you in the gym. They're like, oh my God, like Andrew Jack's here. Everywhere you go.
In the gym, in the airport. I mean, I think anytime I come, you know, like to my second home, you know, which is the US, yeah, it's always a walk through like a breeze, because almost from the immigration to the customs now they know me, so it's
very nice.
Yeah,
you get that special treatment.
It's
the
like,
Prince of Texas, bring him on through.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Andrew Jack, okay, you know, bro, okay,
yeah.
Are you here again for your camping and training? I'm like, yeah. They're like, so I think it's an advantage and blessing at the same time.
I want to run a thought by you that I've heard from some other people who have had a similar rise to stardom. I would love your take on it.
What was that?
People will work for fame. You work so hard to become so good at the craft that you're in. Obviously for you, it's bodybuilding. You put so much effort into it, but once you become famous or well-known or whatever you want to call it, you never lose that. For the rest of your life, that's going to be with you. Is that more a blessing? Is that more a curse? And what is it like knowing every time you leave the house, you have to be on because someone's going to come up?
Yeah.
What's that like?
I will say for me, my perspective and how I live my life here, it doesn't really affect me that much because one, to start with, the whole now how I grew up is different. We've got this. I grew up with very strict, strong hands, discipline and respect is there. Exposure also. So I mean, like being. Some people do call it fame, but me, I don't say like fame or famous or whatever. Like some people say, "Oh, you're now famous. You're not a celebrity." I'll be like, "What? Like, get out of here! Like, what are you talking about? I'm not." You know what I mean? So only say the Hollywood stars or the action movie stars or the film stars or celebrity or whatever. But fame wise, no, I'm not because I still see myself as the same person from day one. Like there's like. Nothing changed. You know what I mean? So all this stuff, like I'm still the same person. I don't know how people see me, but I look in the mirror, it's still me. There's like nothing changed. You know what I mean? So I still try to be that same person I am.
Then for you, would you say the only thing that changed was the way people interact with you?
Yes, exactly. It's just the way people interact with me. Yeah, and the way people see me. You know, like after every show I do, which of course I am successful, two things come. Lots of hate and lots of admirers, which is normal. Because in life, of course, if you don't have people hating on you, it's you're not human. You know what I mean? So it's a good thing.
If no one's hating on you, you're not doing much. You're not placing fifth at the Olympia. You're not the Prince of Texas.
No.
What do people say? I mean, you win the Texas Pro, you get fifth at the Olympia. Like, what do they want from you?
Like, listen, yeah, like you know, like okay, let's skip the Olympia and Texas Pro stuff. Let's talk about the Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
When I got third in the Arnold and Samson got first and Nick second and Rami fourth. You know, just like how Derek, beat Hani, yeah? I mean, beat Hadi. Yeah, you know, he got some threatening messages and whatever, and bullshit. You know, but I would say because he doesn't have that matured like mentality, and that was why he succumbed to the whole thing. When I got third and Rami got fourth, oh shit, you should see the whole DMs from Egyptians.
Really?
Yeah, like I went back home to Dubai, and even in the gym, I've got like so many haters. I'm telling
you. At the gym.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
They watched you go through
They
this
were
crap.
looking at me like, oh, now he's failed. Now he's trying to act like he's a big shot now, you know what I mean? Like he's trying to be
Dude, that's tough.
Like, but because listen, like I've seen lots of sunrise and lots of sunsets. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I've witnessed sweat, blood, tears, you know, cried on so many things. So you sending me a message or like on social media or Instagram or whatever doesn't affect me at all. Like I barely even respond to comments. Like I just post and I just like everything. You say bad stuff, good stuff, I don't even read them. You know what I mean? So you coming at me like that is you're just wasting your time because there is no way in this life you will come to my face and say something like that. It's impossible.
Sitting across from you as a 250-pound man right now, I can confirm no one will say anything to you.
It's impossible because you will just end up in one place and that's ERs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't get like shaken by those things. I just live my life like how I am. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you. Nigeria, my best friend in college, his name is Mike Nwankwo. I hit him up before we hopped on this.
Nwankwo.
Yep.
It's Nwankwo.
Yeah, he's from Nigeria as well.
Yeah, he's from the east.
Yes.
From the surname. Yeah.
He is. It's fascinating. It's fascinating. I know that it's really strict. I mean, parents, high expectations.
Oh, yeah.
Pressure.
Yep.
Do well in school, become an engineer or a doctor, see your way through, make an impact.
Is the first thing. Like I was supposed to be, me and my brother was supposed to be like, you know, like football stars now. You know what I mean? But Then school is the first thing. You have to go to school. You have to stop whatever you're doing. School, like school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So when you tell your parents, you become an engineer, you have a job, all this, you're like, hey, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna bodybuild.
You don't tell them anything. You just live your because you're now an adult of your own. So you don't tell them anything. You just live your life. You just do your thing because it's now your turn to look after them. They've done their part, so you have to do yours.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. We don't have a lot of that going on in America anymore, Andrew.
Yeah, it's the culture, bro. You guys don't have a culture. Sorry. Like most of you guys forget the culture, which is not good.
Why is the culture so strong in Nigeria, you feel like, as opposed to America? Not in a negative way, it's just different.
No, I won't say in just Nigeria. I would say Africa, Asia, Middle Eastern, South America, even North America also, like the Mexicans, the Spanish, yeah, like parents look after you. As a kid, you turn into an adult. It's now reversed. It's now your responsibility to look after them. Like if you look, these places I just like mentioned, none of them have how you guys have adult homes where you put
nursing homes.
Yeah, we don't have it because it's a curse. You have to look after your parents because they look after you as a kid when you were pooping in street and all over the place. They look after you and everything. So it's your turn because it reverses. So it's your turn now to look after them.
And then you'll be looked after.
So it's a circle because and your kids will look after you. So it's like that.
Grandkids look after you. Kids look after you. Andrew, this ignites a story I was recently told by a friend of mine. She's a nurse in the OR. But she was recalling a time, many times, where she had gone in, someone's about to pass away. And she offers, is there anyone I can call? Is there anyone who you might want here? And they'll tell her they're like, I don't have anybody.
No.
Oh my God.
That's
when she told me that story, I've been a little shaken from that for a few weeks.
Bro, that's terrible. That's terrible because the thing about like not just our culture, but it applies. These places are like Africa as a whole, Middle Eastern, Asia, Southeast Asia, especially the Indians, the Chinese, Japanese, South Korean, Taiwan, Thailand, even Vietnam, even the two core Koreas, North and South, South America, Puerto Rico, Mexico too. Even the Bahamas and the Caribbeans too. Yeah, there's this tradition we have. Your parents play a major role in your life. If they can bless you and they can curse you, and they do either of them, it goes. They bless you, man, you will succeed in whatever you're doing. They curse you, there has to be a reason for why they do that. And the only way you can make them to break their curse and forgive you is by you finding what you did and apologizing to them. And of course, every parent will forgive you. It's a must because why? They gave birth to you. Mm-hmm. But once they do that, you will grow exceedingly successful. And who will you celebrate those blessings with if not them? Of course, you will be happy. You will thank them for bringing you. You will thank them for doing all those things they did from ever since you were born and become an adult. So you have to,
You're saying all of these things. It's quite fascinating for me to sit and think about. I feel there's a gamification of family that happens in American culture. I'm supposed to get married. I'm supposed to have kids. I'm trying to beat my best friend to have kids. I'm trying to, it's a gamification.
Yeah.
Or you have relationship problems and you have a kid, or you know, you can get paid in America for having kids and all of that. Whereas the focus from the very, very little that I know about Nigeria, from you, from Mike, from my friends here in Austin, who all thought it was very cool. You were coming on the show, by the way. It's different. It's like you're born with, okay, education comes first. Education comes first, obviously, to provide for your parents, but then your family. And then you instill these values in your family. You take care of them. Now they take care of you. Now you keep going. Where, the things that are placed first in America is much more superficial, much less meaningful, much less deep. I find that to be sad. I'm definitely very imperfect in my own approach. There's a lot of things I want outside of a family. But I mean, with that being said, you're traveling around the world competing in bodybuilding. Does your family ever get to come with you? And
No, because one, it will be very inconvenient on both sides, for me and for them too. You know what I mean? Because on one hand, they've got things they're doing. They're old and fragile, you know, and my siblings have got things they're doing too. They've got kids and whatever. They have to look up to them, you know, and I've got my own thing to worry about. So both parties can just shuffle like back and forth. You get me?
Got it.
Yeah.
I hope that one day they get to see you. I hope that there's a show close enough overseas where they can come see you.
They watch me online, so it's okay.
That's beautiful. They watch you win. They watch you hit the splits on stage.
Online, so it's good. Yeah, I was.
So they seen my logo behind you.
I was hitting this splits way back at home, like when we were like growing up. So so they know.
Let me ask you.
Yeah.
You talk a lot about mentality, your mental conditioning. I have a quote that I stole from your Instagram that I want to ask you what it means to you about neurological awareness. But first,
that was Kai Green.
It was Kai Green. It was Kai Green. But I want to know what it means to you in just a second. First, I'm assuming you manifest. I'm assuming you visualize. You're doing some sort of mental practice. Do you ever think about that moment that you fly back to Nigeria, you land after the mission was accomplished and you're the best in the world? Do you think about that?
Not think about that. I dream for that. So, yeah. And not just Nigeria too. It's Africa as a whole, you know. And Africa is a continent with about 52 countries and 4 islands, almost 56 countries in total. So, when the sundown is won, I think, of course I'll go do a tour. I'll go do a tour, you know, because I've got fans like in so many countries there. So of course I'll go do a tour there and celebrate, you know.
What I love about conversations like this, and I'm not sure how it's going to come across in the video, but like you can feel the passion, you can feel the energy, you can feel what that means to you. I respect that. Your respect for your culture is
of course.
Very cool. Let's run this quote by you.
Yeah.
Finding what works for you, recreating what works for you, and then reinventing what works for you. The system of neurological awareness. As the great philosopher Kai Green has said. And I love that. I read that, and before I even saw the Kai Green tag, I was like, Kai Green. He got that from Kai Green.
Yeah.
There's no one else that speaks the way that man speaks.
Yeah.
What does the system of neurological awareness mean to you? You are more than a bodybuilder. You're an acrobat on stage. You're an athlete.
Yeah.
What's this mean to you?
I would just, in my perspective, how it applies is just finding myself and what works best around me. You know what I mean? Tapping into them. You know, not trying to be a copycat or something, you know? Yeah.
We need more of that.
Yeah.
We need more of that. I gave a speech last night where I talked about stop copying everybody else.
Yeah.
I mean, you see it on Instagram all the time.
Oh,
people just copy other people's posts or other people's words, or it's plagiarism happening everywhere.
Yeah.
But you're applying this to bodybuilding with a blank canvas with an art brush that only you hold.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming, I know you train a little bit with Psycho Fitness with Chris out there. You do your training, you do your thing based on what you want to see your physique look like.
Yeah.
And you don't go by a paper, you don't go by sets and reps, you go by the feel. You just feel that thing working.
Yeah.
You would call it a more intuitive approach with training. Some days you got it, some days you don't got it, but on the days you don't got it, you got to show up and ball out.
Of course.
Because Derek's doing it, Hottie's doing it, Nick's doing it.
Of course.
Samson.
Of course.
Okay, so walk me through. People love lists. People love lists. And I'm not sure if you know that, but especially people in podcast forums, they love lists. So I'm going to ask you a list of some of your favorite stuff here in a second, but you walk into a training session. What'd you train today?
Shoulders.
Give me a brief walkthrough. What are you thinking? Do you know what you're going to start with? Do you get warmed up?
Of course, 100%. Of course. Like, for me, okay, no. I'll just put how my self is, especially in working out terms, yeah? I don't program myself right from home that, okay, I have to do this or make a list. I have to do this and do this and do this and do that. No, I was just, okay, I was speaking to a friend of mine in the gym and I told him, like, he asked me, bro, what are you training today and what were you like start weight? And I told him, bro, for me, if I walk into a gym I'm used to, I already know what I need to do, what I have to do, because one, I'm already acclimatized to the environment. I'm already connected to the environment. You get me, yeah? The ambience, the space, and the machines. But I walk into a gym where I'm not used to. The first thing I do, I just go to a corner, just meditate. I try to connect with the ambience, connect with the environment, first of all, and if I feel satisfactory, then I can now just use my eyes and scout around, like communicate with the machines and see which one will respond back. Yeah, I'll put it like spiritually or something, you know what I mean? So, and then I would just walk up to one machine or even a dumbbell and I'll just do like series of warm-up sets. But while doing that, my eyes are still on the mirror where I can have a wide view instead of rotating my head and looking back. I would just look on the mirror because I'm going to have the whole span view of the gym and I can now connect and see where to start with. So that's me. So I know what my routine is, but when I walk into the gym, that's when I can now decide on what to do and what not to do. So it's easier for me to my brain just act like that.
You're a man of strong faith?
100%, of course.
Your whole life?
Yeah, of course.
Growing up that way?
Yes, of course.
Everything to...
Bred that way, grown up that way, family, everything, so yeah.
When did you get into meditation? At what point? What point did you realize that's what centers, instills, and calms you? That you can do it in a gym, like House of Gains, with the music going nuts?
I think that has just been my way of life ever since, like from the beginning. Because if you're someone of faith, of course you meditate a lot because you have to like pull yourself together. That's when you can connect with so many things, both spiritually and wherever. I mean, so
you feel very close to God while you're training. Feel spiritual, like a spiritual outlet when you're training.
I wouldn't bring God into this because he's way too superior for this. I would just say you just connect spiritually. There are lots of spiritual things around you. You just connect with them. God is way too big to bring into this. He's busy. So
he's a little too busy for your bodybuilding.
Yeah, he's way too busy. I don't want to disturb him. Like, hey, yeah. You know what I mean? So I just do what I have to do because already, like we as humans, we already have our own power in us. So we just have to work with that.
You feel like there's a piece of God inside of each of us? That's something I've recently come around and grappled with in my head.
It depends because everyone is different. It depends on how your faith is, or how your belief is, or something. Everyone is not the same. Some people are 8 years to something. Yeah. Yeah, so it depends on you as a person.
I don't want to turn this into a whole religious segment, so I'm getting to holistical. Yet, I would say maybe from 20 to 28, I was like, there's no God. There's nothing out there. We're just floating on this.
Sometimes you can be pissed and say, like, sometimes you can be tired of when things doesn't work in your way or work in your favor. You might say some things, and when it does, you'll be like, oh yeah, I knew there was God or something like that.
But you know what, Andrew? There was a time, to your point exactly, there was a time just about 14, 15 months ago where there was an event that happened, and I was so struck. I was to my core, and I was like, you know what? Okay. I've been wrong. I've been wrong. I've been a little wrong. I'm not sure how to honor it. I'm not sure how to navigate it. I'm still working through it. Everyone's on a different timeline with the process.
Yeah. But
the connection you feel to something that's far bigger and better than you and far more powerful than you is whatever it is. Yeah. I told you a list was coming. So my friend Chris Williamson had Chris Bumstead on his show. And he made Chris Bumstead go like top 10 movements in the gym. And I was like, that's a lot to think about. So I'm going to break this down a little bit.
Okay.
For Andrew Jacked, top 3 chest exercises.
I always start off with pec flies. Pec flies, that's how I get to engage my mind-muscle connection, get blood flow. That's my warm-up set and my very first exercise.
Cable, machine, dumbbell?
Now, from pec fly, and now switch to...
No, for the pec fly, are you using cable, machine?
No, I've got machine.
Machines, yeah. I love that too.
Yeah, and after that, then I go to the old school inclined barbell. And inclined barbell, I go to dumbbell.
What do you use on inclined barbell? How much load? How many reps you doing?
I just go on. On a happy day, I can be obsessed and go crazy. On a regular day, I just try to go as much as I can.
How many you hitting 405 for, Andrew? How many you getting that?
I'm from the other part of the world. Yeah, I'm from the metric side.
What would that be? 4 plates, whatever 4 plates is.
Yeah, I've done 4 plates like a couple of times. Yeah, but on a regular day, I just stick to 3 plates and just go nice and easy. Just feel the contraction, because sometimes it's not just about the weight. Sometimes it's just how you engage the muscle.
I need to clip this and post this one on Instagram, because there's way more people that need to hear that. So if Andrew is, how many kilograms do you weigh right now?
141.2.
So you're incline pressing not much more than what you weigh.
I think so. Yeah,
people need to take note of this.
Yeah,
my old bodybuilder self, before the torn pec included. God, we should have done this show a year ago. Top 3 back movements then.
Back movement. Ooh, that go back. I rotate every time. Back. How do I see? Okay, what did I do on back day before I go here? Back day. Okay, yeah, I remember. Sometimes, okay, I'll just say what I did before I go here, like 3 days before I go here. I did the narrow grip, lat pull down, narrow grip, lat pull down, and then I switched to a rows. I always do lat, rows, lats. Or rows, lats, rows. So I switched to barbell, bent over row, and then I switched to lat pull down on machine.
You in that barbell row, under or overhand?
No, under.
Underhand.
Yeah, underhand.
The hard way.
Yeah. Yeah, the hard way.
Top 3 leg movements. Last one.
Ooh, extensions, squats. Leg presses, not barbell squats, not spin machine squat, hack squats.
Okay.
And leg presses.
I've got a video that I need to run.
That's squats. That's squats though.
Then go ahead and give me hamstrings.
Hamstrings. Always start with abductors.
Okay.
First of all, open up the hips. Then I go over to seated leg curl and lying leg curl.
Andrew,
Yeah.
I found this on your Instagram.
What did I do?
Dude.
What did I do? Oh, it's Psycho. Oh, no.
Andrew, what is going on? I watched that and I started. No, I'm in pain.
No, there's a reason why he's called.
You're still going.
There's a reason why he's called Psycho for a reason.
So what we're watching right now is Andrew hitting seated hamstring curls. Yeah. And there's a resistance band in the middle of the ankle pad. Psycho Fitness is pulling on it. Andrew's not letting it move up. And how long did you hold that for? About 15 seconds?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. And then now he's repping him out and you're still going. I mean, I'm in pain. This is great because I don't need to train legs tomorrow. I watched you train legs hard enough that I can get a little bit from that too. Dude, that hurts.
Fucking hell. You've got no idea.
All right. I need your top 3 hamstring movements real fast, and then we're moving on. Is that in your top 3 hamstring movements?
Yeah, I started with abductors, seated leg curl, lying leg curl.
Lying leg curl. No barbell RDO.
Huh?
No RDO.
No, you said the top 3. Where
would RDL? Where would RDL be on the list?
RDLs come on the 4th or 5th exercise.
Yeah.
On the 5th, like actually on the 5th one, I always do like 6 or 7 movements.
Yeah.
For hamstrings, so RDL come like second to the last one.
I lied. I have one more question for you. Man to man, it's a little bit of a weird question, but it's a bodybuilder's question. Your glutes are nuts. What do you do for your glutes?
My glutes is fucked up. Yeah, it's fucked up. Like my hamstrings, my glutes, those are the major things I need to work on to make tight and whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a long tines.
You do?
Yeah, so
Very.
It's hard to train them.
Your muscles are very fast twitch dominant, and a lot of my background's in track and football, and so your muscle lengths, your insertions are very fast twitch dominant. Like, I was a strength coach at University of Cincinnati for football, and when recruits would come in, you'd kind of like watch how they walk. Yep. You see how narrow their hips are. Yep. You'd be able to get a nice little feel. They run. You're able to get a little feel of their insertions there. Mm-hmm. Man, let me tell you, if you would have walked in on a recruiting visit, they would have gone nuts. Yeah, they would have gone nuts.
Yeah, because as a kid, I was doing lots of explosive. Like I was even called a stone man. Like I was doing lots of explosive like movements, and when I was so flexible, I can easily climb a tree like so easy and be on a tiny branch up.
You've always been flexible.
I've always been flexible, and everything I did was explosive like movements. You know,
the flexibility work that you do.
Yeah.
God, you posted that thing the other day and stretching out very hard abduction.
Yeah, no, I don't. It's not something crazy. It's just I'm just building my endurance. It's just an endurance test or training.
So before I get into a conversation Tyler Mannion and I had, I want to ask you, this year's Texas Pro. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I'm title sponsoring again.
Here we go.
No, I'm not going to put you on the spot. I promise I'm not going to put you on the spot. Now, if you're going to three-peat, I would never ask you. Nothing from the Grow or Die podcast would ever come out that might be a little heatful towards the competition. But I want to know.
Okay.
How are you coming up with your routine for these shows? I mean, this is insane.
Yeah, like first of all, man, honestly speaking, I put together my routine while taking a poop, while taking a shit. Like,
I like how you were going to say poop and these shit. I like that.
Bro, like for me, I get inspiration while I'm taking a shit because I spend like minimum, anytime I take a shit, like minimum half an hour.
Dude, you gotta get hemorrhoids at some point.
No, it's not just like only just poop for what, like for a few minutes, but you're just there, it's like our confined space. You know, it's
a great place to meditate.
Yeah, it's a place where guys, we gossip.
We do.
We get inspiration.
Yes.
We put together tasks, we put together work, we put together things.
Yes. The brain works better when the poop is coming out too.
When you're there, it's just you and the smell of your own shit, and you just You're just there. It's just you doing your thing there. Like you're just your mind, no distraction. You're just focused on so many things. Like your brain becomes empty. So many things start like coming in. You get me? So anytime I take a poop, I always have like maybe like two or three like movements.
Yeah.
And I do the movement in my head because I know stuff I can do and stuff I can do. So I do them in my head. I'll be like, okay, this will work. I program it. Take a poop. Then after, another day while taking a poop, I try to put them together.
Mm-hmm.
Put them together and, I just train them now physically like 2-3 times and that's it.
You're ultra visual.
Yeah, 2-3 times and that's it. So all my routines, I've never gotten help from anyone. It's all been from the amateur from when I started. Like, I remember even when Flex was asking me, do I have my routine? I told him, yeah. And I played him the song and he was like, okay. He said, show me. I showed him and he was like, well, I can't say anything else. You've got all this like covered, like I do by myself. I don't get any.
Posing just comes so natural for you.
Yeah.
Do you dance too?
The routine wise. Back in high school, back as a kid, yeah, I used to dance. In university, yeah, but when I started putting on muscle, I couldn't.
By the time you get on stage, how many times have you rehearsed your routine?
On stage?
Yeah, like by the time you actually give it at the night on finals of the Texas Pro this year in August, how many times will you have gone through that routine?
No, I do my routine before I travel for my shows. I don't do my routines on my own when I'm example like how I put it. Okay, like if I travel 1 week before my shows, yeah. Uh-huh. My routine gets done. If I travel less than 5 days before my show, I don't do my routine. But if I travel like a week before, then I just practice like 1 time, 2 times, that's it. But a few days to the show, I don't practice my routine.
There's some young bodybuilders that need to hear that. I know I'm not the only one that's seen the guys get on stage with lackluster physiques, but a crazy routine. And it's like, damn, I don't. If we would have put that effort into the physique. So then let me ask you, Tyler Mannion after Texas Pro last year told me verbatim, whoever faded first was going to lose. I was calling it with Hani Rambod and Kim. We had an amazing call. But I'm just watching you guys go at it. Go at it. You can see the respect. You can see the passion. You knew what was going on. You knew you couldn't fade.
From the beginning, I weigh my opponents after that first call out. When how they call it? Is it the first call out or when they call like each of you guys individually to come out and just
your walkout group.
Yeah, your walkout group. So I weigh my opponent from that first part. Yeah, if you do your stuff and then you come backstage and I see you like panting, I'll be like, oh, okay, I've got you now.
Yep.
And then when we start to pose, I don't look at you, but I listen to how you breathe. And I see how you breathe. I'll be like, okay. And then when we turn, when we're trying to do the back double biceps and I look on the screen, then you start to fade. I'll be like, it's just a competition. Yeah, if you see even in boxing too, even in fighting, you see your opponent like giving out, you get more hyped. You know what I mean?
Like the knockout punches.
Yeah, you get more hyped that, oh yeah, I'm gonna fuck you up. But
you felt that in Texas.
Yeah, but if you don't say to him, but you be like, oh, okay, let's go. But when you see him like fading, be like, okay, I've got you now. So then your morale get boosted, and you just ride along. You don't try to overtake him. You just chase him from a distance. You know what I mean? It's like you're chasing a wounded animal. You don't try to outrun. You just chase him slowly. He gets tired. He falls off, and you grab him.
So what's your posing practice like? You're posing in the heat, aren't you?
Oh yeah, with cycle, yeah. But
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that. I said that on the live stream.
Yeah, but it's not just that. Like myself as a person, I'm a diesel engine. Even in my training, in my training, yeah, I started off very weak, and after I just keep going. The only thing that slows me down or stops me is time. So it's even from, I mean, from when I did my amateur to my first pro debut to the Arnold UK to the Olympia, even, you know, I never faded.
Never.
That's how my body it was. So, but Psycho, he amplified that more. He amplified my resistance more by making me pose in hot temperatures, you know, rounds after rounds after rounds after rounds. So when you step on stage, I mean, it's all AC, like blowing you and not heat. So you just be flowing.
After that show, I sent a message to all my guys in prep. I was like, hey, get in the hottest environment you can and start practicing your posing.
It's not just that. Some people do pose in heat. Some people do pose in heat, but when they step on stage, it's still the same thing. They will still fade.
I think it's adrenaline.
Why? Because the nervousness and the competitive spirit, you know, everything will work. It's just there. It's just how you tackle it.
Do you get nervous?
Never.
Because you're so prepared?
Never have and never will.
Do you find it to be because you're so prepared, Andrew, or do you find it to be because you've seen worse shit? You've seen worse shit. You've been through stuff. You have real adversity in your life. You've made it to this point from Nigeria. You've defied whatever odds might have been placed against you. Or you just feel so prepared?
No, it's just my mindset, you know. It's just the mindset. Like, I know it's a show. I know it's just a couple of dances and it's done in few minutes. So why being nervous is something I've been working for, prepping for weeks, and it's just for a few minutes. So, you know what I mean? It's like for myself, like mentally, I'm talking about myself, like mentally, there is no, it's just an enjoyable, like loving situation. But, you know, like sometimes we have a master plan, and sometimes it doesn't. Something happens along the way and it just dents. That can affect you like that, can fuck you up like mentally, like affect you like mentally. But you let that happen and it just weighs you down. You know, it affects your body. It messes you up. You know what I mean? So a couple of times I found myself in that situation where things didn't go like how we planned it to, but I never let that to go into my head. I try to capitalize on my advantages instead.
Seems like some of your spiritual practices would help with that, but you're a very mentally resilient individual as well. I mean, how many competitors you see, as soon as the game doesn't go right, their mental's gone. They check out. That's weak.
It's just gone. Yeah, it's just gone. Like so many times. Like I wouldn't say it like things, but so many times I just have to, because now it's just you versus you. So I just figured out, yeah, cool, okay, this didn't like work out. Okay, so what do I do? You just go into your arsenal and bring out your advantage, because I know physically I've got advantages over so many people, and that's like symmetry. And I'll use my symmetry and my resistance to fade or endurance, whatever, and just put it in there. So yeah.
Listening to you speak reminds me of a Usain Bolt quote that he said years ago about how he's trained, 20 years for 9.58 seconds, or whatever the case may be. And again, I have a track background. Did you ever run track?
I did I did a bit, but it didn't last because I like jumping or switching from one thing to another. I love exploring, bro. I love exploring sports, like fitness industry.
So bodybuilding and track are real similar. It's a lot of delayed gratification. It takes a really long time, and you're talking about you only perform for a couple minutes on stage. I mean, your total stage time at Texas Pro is probably like 7-8 minutes total, and that's when you're in the final call. These other guys are getting a minute, 2 minutes total.
Yep.
But you're 39 now. Yep. So when you won in 2022, 37, there was
38. I just clocked 38 in this.
38. So 2022, you were 36, whatever the case may be. First professional win. Obviously, there was a lot of time. that got put into that first professional win. Actually, I know the guy who handed you that trophy at that show. I'm pretty tight with that guy. I wonder what he's doing right now. I handed you that trophy, and I remember looking over at you because we do the hands up thing, the picture, all that. Yeah. Bro, you were beaming. Your smile.
What, in the Texas Pro?
Yeah, you were cheesing. Talk to me about that.
No, because if I don't know if you followed the lead towards the show where everyone was saying, oh, he would just be like part of the people he would just be in the top 5 or late 5, maybe 5th or 6th. He's coming in, he's still a rookie, he don't know about the sport, he's trying to do this and that. And I'm like, these guys have no idea what's coming, because before I become an amateur, people were saying, oh, I think it's better you just go do a small show like in Malta or in Japan or Russia. Go do a small show, get a pro card, easy. And I told them, I'm not even interested in doing the Olympia amateurs, because the Olympia amateurs has got like 3 pro cards in division. I told them I want to do the Arnolds. But the Arnold, I got just 1. If I win, I know I win, and I'll break and I'll set standard high. You know what I mean? So, and I did the Arnold, like I said I would, and it happened. And I remember I was supposed to be on vacation with my ex. We're planning for a Miami trip, because after the Arnold Amateur, the plan was to come back the next year, which was last year, 2023, and I would do the pro show because of the automatic qualification. I was ready to go for vacation with my ex-girl then, back in May. No, early June. Yeah, early June. And then Flex called and be like, Andrew, what do you think about the Texas Pro? I'm like, which Texas Pro? He's like Texas Pro. I said, what is Texas Pro? He said the Texas Pro, it's a competition that you win, you qualify for the Olympia. And I told him, well, I thought we're like waiting to next year. I told him, is it next year? He said, no, it's just in 2 months. I'm like, no, bro, come on. He said, yes, you're doing the Texas Pro. I'm like, okay.
You were lean enough in June in an off season.
I'm like, okay. And then, we still went to South Beach though. Me and my girl went to South Beach, still had some little group fun, and then we flew to Vegas and did my prep there.
I gotta say, I gotta be on the record. Me and Freddie were talking before that 2022 Texas Pro. Dude, I saw the shit. I saw all of it. I don't know you at all. This is the first time we really officially met.
But it was that video Milos released when Steve Weinberger was like checking me out my purposes. So that video it gave me the hype. Yeah. And I saw the rush. I'm like, now we're talking. So I put in double effort.
Freddie called me. Because I had this grandiose vision of, I won Steve Kuklow's show the year before. Now, if he wins the show that I'm sponsoring, that would just be cool. Like, boy. And I told Freddie this. And Freddie's like, I think Steve is really good. But Andrew's going to win this. And I was like, Andrew Jack? I was like, let me see some pics. Like, let me see some. Freddie's like, just hold it. Like, I'm calling this one first. Like, Andrew's going to win the show. And I'm seeing these people like Andrew for 5 or 4. Yeah. Is he going to get first call out?
Yeah, it's his first show. He's not good at stage experience and whatever. I'm like, you guys don't know what's coming in. Everyone was good, but when you see something you haven't seen in a long time, especially the symmetry. Yeah. Especially the symmetry, that was what just blew the minds of people.
I dislike when you're compared to other bodybuilders. I know I see the Cedric McMillan thing a lot. Rest in peace, Cedric McMillan. Unbelievable guy, unbelievable bodybuilder. Obviously, there's Flex Wheeler a lot. Yeah. You're different, bro.
Yeah, and I was tall too.
You're tall too.
And Steve is a big dude.
Yeah.
But when I stood next to him,
He didn't look big.
I made him small. So
when we get this picture after the show, I'm very nervous for how small I'm going to look next to you. My last question for you. I want you to really think
big shout out to Steve Hookler.
Yeah, big shout out Steve Hookler.
Big shout out Steve.
I want to get him on the show too. Yeah. I want you to think about this. I'm going to visualize this with you because I'm going to be there when it happens.
Okay, what's that?
When you hear and knew Mr. Olympia, Andrew Jacked.
Oh, I know it's going to happen.
What are you going to think? What's that feeling going to be like?
I will be like, oh, okay, finally, it happened. I'd say. But that would happen if I don't get my shit together. I need to get my shit together for that to happen. Which I know if I do get my shit together, it will happen.
Let's talk about that.
It's just me and the process. I just need to get my shit together.
You're still young.
In the sport,
You're still young in the sport.
Yeah, I need to get my shit together. If I do that, just that, plus my advantage physically, and I don't think anyone can. I don't think anyone will. And they know too. They know. They're saying it. Even if I get my shit together, I don't think.
How do you practice getting your shit together? What's that look like?
One, do the right thing, get the right instruments, and put the right things in the right places, fix the things that needs to be fixed, improve things that needs to be improved. And
when you look at yourself, what's the biggest thing you want to fix?
Oh, my hamstrings. That's it, because one, I'm tall, and I'm tall, one, and I've got how did I say before? My glute has this high insertions, and my hamstring have this short insertions. So that's one of the disadvantage. That's why it's just small. So to make it grow, that's something that's it will be a process. It will happen, but it's a process.
I want to throw one last opinion out there. I think we just saw the best hottie Chupon that we've ever seen at the Arnold. What do you think when I say that?
No, I would say we just saw Hardy being Hardy. Because
you think he's been better than that before?
No, we just saw Hardy being Hardy because, I mean, Nick wasn't there. Nick is great in conditioning. Nick wasn't there. I mean, the other people who came in, they're not great in condition. They're not good in conditioning. So if someone who's conditioned at Hardy have no competition in someone with conditioning, how would you know? It means he just a one-sided game. Samson is not conditioned. We all know that. So who else was conditioned there? Like nobody.
I agree.
So he just Hardy being Hardy. Why? Because everyone couldn't see any other conditioning except from Hardy. But if maybe Nick was there, of which Nick is conditioned, Nick was good, then you'll not be like, okay, you've not seen someone who's also conditioned who can stand with him and compare,
Nick's a good friend of mine. Nick right now has the #1 listened to bodybuilding style episode on Grow or Die podcast. So you've entered into a competition you didn't even choose to be a part of, but I'm excited to see who gets more listens between Andrew's and Nick's. But I think Nick's is around 98,000. It's about to eclipse 100,000 listens. And Andrew, I want to say truly, I know you're a quiet guy. I know you say to yourself.
Yeah.
I know that you do your thing. #1, I appreciate you coming on the show, taking time out.
Thank you.
#2,
yeah.
I want to see you win it. I want to see you win it.
It's I have to get my shit together.
Get your shit together.
Yeah.
I want to see you win it. I'm rooting for you. I feel the passion, the love that you have for your country, for your culture is commendable.
Yeah, I have to get my shit together.
Get your shit together and let's fucking win it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
I appreciate you a ton, man. Grow or Die fam, you guys already know where he is, but we are going to put his information in the show notes. Andrew Jacked, he will be at the Texas Pro in August.
Yes, sir.
Coming for the 3-peat. You heard it here first. See y'all next time. Peace.
Thanks a lot, bro.